everyone, and welcome to YMCA of San Francisco's Youth Classes for All. My name is Alex, and I'm going to be your instructor in STEAM today. And STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. And today we're going to be making a hovercraft. So we're going to be definitely doing some science in the form of creating this hovercraft, as well as some engineering and putting it all together, and adding a little bit of artistic flair to our final project. So the materials that you'll need for today are a CD. So back in my day, we used to listen to music on CDs and CD players. So you can rummage through your parents' old supplies or old CD collection and grab one of these blank CDs. You'll need the top of a water bottle, so you can use the ones that kind of push up or just have a little spout to the top of them. You'll need a balloon, and I have some stuff to decorate my hovercraft. So it's around the time of Halloween right now, so I'm going to use some Halloween stickers to decorate my hovercraft, as well as a Sharpie to write down a couple of things on my hovercraft. And the last thing you'll need to put it all together is a hot glue gun. So if you're doing this at home, please make sure you have your parents' permission to use this or parents' help to use a hot glue gun today. So feel free to follow along with me in making a hovercraft, or just watch and do the activity at your own time later on. All right, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take our blank CD, and you're going to want the CD to be face down. So if you have any writing or a graphic on your CD, you're going to want to flip it over so you have the shiny side exposed. That's going to be the top of our hovercraft. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to glue our cap to the center of our CD. Okay, so I'm going to take my hot glue gun. It's already heated up. Be very careful. And I'm going to make sure I put enough glue around the middle part of my CD so that I can just lay the cap right over that hot glue. I'm going to push it out so it'll start to come out. There we go. So just apply that hot glue. And hot glue dries really quickly, so you're going to want to act fast and press that lid right on top, or that cap right on top of that hot glue. So that is about all I'm going to be doing with that hot glue gun. So I'm going to put that off to the side. And so right now, it should already be pretty dry. It dries super quickly. So now you should have your bottle cap or mouthpiece there and your CD attached. All right, so before we put anything on the hovercraft with the balloon, let's go ahead and decorate our hovercraft. So I have these Halloween sticker booklets, so I'm going to take some of those and put them right on to my CD. I'm putting a little bat on there. There's a jack-o'-lantern, some spider webs. And then if you're at home, you can grab any permanent markers that you might have, some Sharpies at home to decorate it. You could even paint over it if you wanted to, or if you have any glitter, you can go ahead and paint some of that on top of there too. I'm going to put some candy corn and maybe a little owl to end it off. And then with my Sharpie, I'm going to give my hovercraft a name today. Because I always like to name my flying objects or my hovercrafts that I make in science. So I'm going to name mine YMCA Supercraft, I think. There we go. So now I have my CD. Well, now my hovercraft decorated, and I wrote the name of my hovercraft. You can add little decorations or draw whatever you want on top of your CD. And so now that I have it decorated, I'm going to put the mouth of my balloon that I have here over the mouthpiece or the cap that we put on here. So if you're using a plain cap at home from a water bottle, you can just poke a decent sized hole in the top of it, so that way air can go right through our hovercraft. So we're going to take our balloon, and you could start to stretch it a little bit because we're going to need to blow it up. So if you have a hard time blowing up balloons, just take your time with it, stretch it out, makes it easier to blow up your balloon. So I'm going to take the mouthpiece and fit it over the top of my cap here so that it sits like a little hat on top of my hovercraft. So the next part is we're going to flip our hovercraft over to the other side. And what you're going to do is you're going to blow up the balloon from the other side of your CD. Okay? So I'm going to take a big breath and try to blow up the balloon as much as I can. Now before we let it go, you might want to press your thumb over the hole on the other side of your hovercraft so that way the air can't escape. If your cap is really small and the mouth of your balloon is not covering it all the way, you can also try to hot glue the balloon to the cap or to the CD, or you could just press it down a little bit with your fingers to keep that air from coming out. So the next part, I might even try to blow this up one more time to make sure it really works. I'm going to do it one more time. And holding my thumb over it, I'm going to try to lay my hovercraft flat down with the balloon on top, and it's going to start to glide across the table here. You're going to want a smooth surface, so if you're using a carpet or anything that has a lot of friction, it's not going to hover as much as you want to. So any kind of fabric material will not work for this. You're going to want a wooden table or the ground, something that's flat and even. So take your hovercraft and then let it go. It's going to start to hover across your table and possibly off the table. I'm going to try that one more time with a couple big breaths in there. All right, holding that bottom hole again, where we just we just puffed our breath into. I'm gonna let it go, and it's gonna hover across the table and move all the way across. So the science around this activity is really awesome. So whenever we're putting air into a thing like a balloon or an enclosed surface, it's gonna want to escape. And so the balloon is a certain size, it's a small size, and it's really elastic, which means it wants to come back to its smaller shape. So when you blow into it, you're making a lot of pressure in that balloon, and it's going to want to come all the way back to its small shape by releasing all of that air. So if you ever blow up a balloon and let it go, it's going to fly all over the place and return to this size that it was once originally. So the air in the balloon is trying to escape and is pressing up against the tabletop and creating this little layer of space between the CD and our table so that that air makes it glide across the table. So you can try this a couple different ways. You can add more CDs if you want to see how much weight the air can lift off. Or you can try to blow up the balloon as big as you can or as little as you can to see how long it will last. You can race them with your friends by trying to guide them across the table. There's so much fun that you can have with this hovercraft. So thank you all so much for joining me today in our hovercraft science activity. You can join us for more classes by visiting our website at YMCASF.org. Thank you so much and see you soon.
Did you know that YMCA of San Francisco never closed? When shelter-in-place happened, we could no longer provide in-person programming. We quickly shifted to provide youth and family programming virtually. As early as April, we started providing on-demand activities in our YMCA of San Francisco YouTube channel.
For this video, we're going to be making a geodesic dome.
Today, we're going to be making a hovercraft. The science around this activity is really awesome.
In addition, we have a regular schedule of activities for our youth and families to join live. We feature read-alouds, yoga, family Zumba, arts and crafts, drawing clubs, and more. So don't miss out on our virtual youth and family offerings. Visit www.ymcasf.org for more info and class schedules.